start the second talk of this afternoon. And I have the pleasure to introduce Javier Elizondo from Instituto de Matemáticas.
Okay, I'm going to talk about this series. This series comes from trying to understand and compute all the characteristics for Chow varieties. However, the series was evolving, and at the end, it's kind of mysterious series because for some cases generalize the Hilbert series, in some cases is the Bell-Sira function, Kaplanov zeta function. So we don't know exactly what is the meaning of the series in some sense. However, we are trying to compute some good examples that allow us to try to find out. So, first of all, I have to mention that an effective cycle is something like this. Vk is an irreducible projective variety, a supervariety of x. Okay, we fix a class in homology, lambda, and we take all the cycles, effective cycles, which homology class is lambda. It's well known that this is a projective variety. The first case is hypersurfaces in Pn, in which our varieties are just projective spaces. The third case is a coarse and degree 3 in P3, so we have 4 components. They are the generic components in each of this one is the twisted cubic, a conical line outside of the plane, and then you have 3 lines in general positions, and then you have the twisted cubic. Okay. So we take the model of algebraic cycles in homology, and we define this space. This space is just the functions from the mono to the integers numbers, and we take one element there. This is the Euler Chow series in dimension p. Okay, and this is the Euler characteristic of C lambda. So we say that an element in here is a rational if we have 2 polynomials, not 1 series, so that is happening. It's very hard to find out when the Euler Chow series is a rational function. When X is the projective space, Blaine Lawson and Stephen Zhao compute the series, and they got this. Dimension P, you got this one. How did they compute this one? This is you have a torus action in the space, an algebraic torus action. So you have the diagonal matrix acting there. Varieties of dimension P and degree D under this action goes to another variety of dimension P or degree D, and therefore induce an action in the Chow varieties. Okay? And if something is invariant under the action, then you got fixed points in the Chow variety. So there is this result, the other characteristic of X is equal to the other characteristic of T, where T is the algebraic torus. And therefore, in Pn, the action of the torus is just the only thing that are invariants are the K-planes. The covering planes. So you have finally many, so you make the computation and you get the series. So in this case, you are able to compute the other characteristic directly and then to compute the series. In general, that situation is not happening. We also is able to compute the toric varieties. These 2 cases where the projective space is a toric variety. So the only cases that we know the Euler Chow series for all dimensions are toric varieties, simplicial toric varieties, projective varieties. And as an example, we take the global P2 at one point, and already the formula is nice, but not so simple. So G24 also is possible to compute in all dimensions. In this case, it's important to mention that the torus action to the different toric varieties you have actually, you have fixed points only in the Chow variety. You have a actual variety of dimension greater than 0, which is fixed. You have families in G to 4 which are invariants of dimension, not trivial. So you have really a lot of families there. And however, we were able to compute this one. We were trying to compute for flag varieties. The problem to try to compute for flag varieties, even for Grassmannians in general, is we have to understand the series for the global of Pn cross Pn along the diagonal, and we know how we have to do that. We also, with Shinichi Kimura, we were able to define the series with motifs. Instead to take the other characteristics, you take the motif for the variety, and you define essentially more or less the same thing. Okay. We were able to compute the motif Chow series for P2, global P2 along all points in a line, and we got this formula. So it's getting more and more complicated in a way. And an important thing to mention is that the series is different for the global if they are in their own position, for instance, 3 points, and they are in a line. So the series give you information, geometrical information that usually you don't get with algebraic covariance or also entomology, etc.
Is that true for other triangular numbers? 6 in a conic?
Yes, I will mention again some results for the Pezzo surfaces, for instance, the Washington surface. I have a student who has computed the series for some kind of decomposable world surfaces. But in that case, it's interesting because it's the first case that you don't have the peak node of x equals 0. So you have a big thing. So the series for codimension 1, when you have pickups of the variety equal to the integers, is just the Hilbert series. Or you have or generalized Hilbert series. This is a first example that we don't have that. I mean, big node can be what? Big. The case of zero cycles was computed by Noah a long time ago. And you got this one. I mentioned this. The reason for this is because if big is like this one, so the other characteristic is going to be the dimension of 0. Okay? I'm going to step on it to mention this. And the reason for this is that the map from Picard to the Chen classes is injective, and therefore what you have is this, and then the other characteristics is just the dimension of this space. Okay. When you have this situation, all the coefficients are the dimension of these spaces, right? So you take the ring associated to the series, and you got exactly this, that is the Koch ring. This well known as the Koch ring is Noetherian, therefore it's rational. There is an example that the other way around is not true. When you have a smooth quartz surface in B3 and you take the blob up in a point, then the Koch ring is not finally generated. However, the series is rational. I mean, the main reason is it's coming from Mori, the work of Shankil about Mori dream spaces. Okay, so for a smooth projective surfaces, you have the spaces Mori dream, in particular. The Koch ring is Noetherian. If only something happened with the cones of left divisors. You need all these ones to be semi-ample, and this example that doesn't happen. The cones is very nice, they are rational polyhedron, but there are left divisors which are not semi-ample. So the Koch ring is not finally generated. So the conjecture that we have is if X is a smooth rationally connected projective variety, then the series is rational if only the cortex is finitely generated. And this is if only if the space is somewhere between the states. So the series of, as you can see, the series is connected to many different things. And we don't know exactly what is the role of the series playing. So the main point, the geometrical thing, the geometrical problem that we really have is that when you have this situation and you have even many effective divisors in big X, each of them generate an extremal radioeffective cone, this is transcendent. It means you live in Z dot 2 brackets X N, all right? So something there is to be algebraic if satisfy a polynomial with coefficients in Z bracket N, polynomial coefficients. In the same way. So we can prove in so many cases this is transcendental. So it's very bad. Well, still it's open the question how the Euler characteristics behave, and we can always thought there are many different kind of well-behaved for the given a series the well-behaved coefficients even in this situation. For any smooth projective variety Y that dominates X via rational regular maps, this is transcendental. So it's related in some way with rational geometry. So the example that we have where the series is not rational and is very bad behaved is the example that Mukai constructs trying to find out a counterexample to the Euler problem, 14 He was studying the invariance ring for actions. He found out those rings are not finally generated, and then they became to be later on the top rings. And we compute for those cases the Euler Chow series, and we find out it's not transcendental. So this is the situation that we have. So you take this blow up of these things. Usually, one thing is the blow up can be very well behaved, but for the series it's not true. So given this condition, condition 1, so this is the cosine is not finally generated, and therefore the series, and we prove the series is not. And all the discussion is coming to the effective cone of X. And they have infinitely many external ways. And I just mentioned that in those cases the series is not rational. The second corollary is something similar. So we have these new examples. They are not of the kind of Mukai. So always go up, but for particular cases related to the question that you made. When delta, for instance, is a finite set of points here that contains points embedded in a procedure. That's the example, for instance, right? The 2 coins intersecting. And the other one is the row of the product finite sets, also with some conditions. So it's a lot of geometry here. I mean, just going in the case, in some cases you can make a very nice geometrical construction of this. So even the X is transcendent in the following cases. X is the global P2 of finite set where delta contains intersection of 2 general cubic curves. X is the blow-up of P3 of a finite set where delta contains the intersection of 3 general points. So they are the particular cases, right, for the blow-up in some not very general position, but general position. X is the blow-up PR of finite set where delta lies on a linear subspace and contains the intersection of 2 general cubics. example, this one. This is related to what is called the vibration. And finally, this one. So, so in those cases, all the coarse rings are not finally generated, and the proof of those ones are by Pezzo and Smith, and Hassett and Schinkel, bulk and arithmetic and things like that. Okay. So let me see the Pezzo surfaces. For the Pezzo surfaces, we elaborate algorithms to compute up to 8 points the Euler Chow series. They are rational in all those cases. The first case is very simple. We have this one. For r equal 3, in general position, you have P2 global at 3 points in. We have something like this. It's a product of rational functions. One of the rational functions is this. So as you can see, it gets very complicated. It's not simple. I mean, you want to compute, for instance, 6 points, 7 points, you will get something really big. I mean, in theory, given this is a rational function for the series, you can get all the other characteristics for the Chow is there. In particular, you are able to compute, for instance, to solve some very old questions. What is the dimension? It's an easy question, right? What is the dimension of linear system passing for a finite number of points with multiplicity fixed in each of those points? It's exactly given by the series. Some of the coefficients are given by some of the coefficients of the series give answer to that question. So for instance, when you have a finite field, you have this series. It's the Veloci series. In 2000, Caprano proved that if X is a nuclear curve, then the series called Caprano motive series, this is the motives, right? This rational function here. When this is the carrying of the curve of algebra, so K together with this equation. And C is close to the C. Okay, it's like. So he proved for curves, he proved that series is rational. But however, for dimension 2, Larsen and Lewis proof is only rational when you have a roll surfaces. If not, it's not. So he proposed, Ives and Red proposed in 2005 a series like this one, when you are in the motives, in the category motives, and it's called the derivative zero function. So he proved, for instance, the product of curves and abelian varieties are finite dimension of some normal surfaces. So this series generalizes the Caprano, and is rational for some surfaces where the Caprano is not. So the point is this thing is precisely a Chow line. It can be identified. It's isomorphic to Chow line. So our series in some way generalizes these ones because we have it for any dimension. This is only dimension 0. Right? This is only for dimension 0. This is the Euler Chow series for dimension 0. And it's the motive version of this. So we have a series for any dimension. The first generalization was just taken as direct generalization, and we proved this is not rational. But you see the denominator, so we take Chow motives, model A1 homotopy, just taking this one, and we prove it's rational. And we compute for toric varieties the rationality of the motive series from all dimensions. So we have new examples of Ives and Ray series, now generalized for all series, for all dimensions. So we can also prove You can also prove something similar to Lawson and Yale theorem when you have an algebraic torus under certain situations, not always, but in most cases that we are interested, this is true. The motive of X is the motive of the physical concept of the algebraic torus action there. And that helps us to compute precisely the motivic Chow series for toric varieties. So the technique is essentially the same. We don't know if there is exists a commodity theory, the odd part and the even part corresponding numerator and denominator like the Bell-Sierra series. We don't know that. As I mentioned also with the Euler characteristic, the Euler characteristic version, the Euler Chow series, this also is different. The blow up, the position of the points in the blow up, you have different results. So it always is very subtle. For the motivic Chow series, we haven't been able to compute any more cases. Just toric varieties and blow up of the two along points in a line. Okay. And I think that's it.
Okay. Are there any questions for Javier?
How does the Bloch-Beilinson conjecture enter into this?
Yes. It's Yves-André. There is the Yves-André series is going to be rational if the Beilinson conjecture is going to be true, because it would imply that all the varieties are finite dimensional, motivically, and therefore the Yves-André, when you have a finite dimensional motive for a variety, so the Yves-André series is rational. So Beilinson implies that all projective varieties are finite dimensional motivically, and therefore the series is always rational. Well, in that sense.
Have you been able to show that some varieties are finite dimensional that were not known to be using this method?
The motivic one, for the motivic one, no, in that cases no, because you have only the toric varieties P2 are points along the diagonal way. No, we haven't done. Abelian varieties, we compute the Abelian varieties for the Chow series, and probably it's the same as the motivic in that case. There is a font of categories that send you the motivic Chow series to the Euler characteristics and the motive to the Euler characteristics. And then you can prove the Euler Chow series, the motivic Chow series go exactly together. So the rationality of this one, for this one, there are some variations. It's a stronger, the Euler Chow series. Could be a stronger condition. But we compute it for this one, so we suspect it's true always for motivic. In fact, it's trivial. The Euler Chow series for Abelian varieties is trivial. It's almost zero everywhere, because the Euler characteristic is the Euler characteristic of torus, the invariant thing, so the Euler characteristic is going to be zero. So most of the coefficients are zero. So the series goes very simple.
I have a similar question as Philip, but replace Nagata by Beilinson.
There you go.
Okay.
Should be interesting.